Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 27. I'm your host Dan Young. With me as always is my good friend
James Craigie, but some people call me Maurice.
Okay, so as you might be able to tell, I'm sounding a little bit rough. I'm a bit ill again, so I don't know what's going on, but we're going to crack on anyways. We've got plenty of shit to talk about. We're going to talk about what we've been playing in a minute, mostly multiplayer goodness.
Yes.
I think. So do you want to start?
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That's all I've been playing, but I think technically it counts as 2 games. Because I've been playing the single-player campaign, which is good. Mm-hmm. I'll just talk about that a little bit first. You liked Assassin's Creed, the first one, yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they made a lot of changes for the second one.
Yeah.
What they've done for this is they've kind of taken the second one and taken the good bits from the first one and sort of put them together. Yeah,
sweet.
There's certain elements. It's very sort of well-rounded thing. There's so much going on. It's hard to keep a track of everything and everything you can do. But what they also do is they set like challenges. There's like the VR training thing, which has like its own sort of medal system.
Cool.
Depending how well you do it, which kind of like gets you to try new things and do that. But it's like every mission you do, they set like a challenge.
Right.
Like saying like you will get more, because it's like synchronization. Yeah, it's reliving the memory. So you know you like lose synchronization when you get damaged and stuff like in the first game and second game. It's like the only way to get full synchronization is if you do it this way. So it might be you can get through this level, but if you can do it without being detected once, you'll get full synchronization. If you have to kill this guy from the air, you have to send these people to distract them, and if you meet those conditions, and it really does get you thinking, it kind of stops you just like running in there and doing it, and you actually sit there and plan out everything.
You've got tactics.
And it really does make you try different things.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
And once you kind of like figured out how they work, you can then try them elsewhere.
Yeah.
And do that, and I kind of like it. I'm doing some pretty cool stuff on it.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a bit about the multiplayer. You could argue, could argue the other good multiplayer experience that's around at the moment.
Oh my god, it is. One word springs to mind. Clusterfuck. It is.
I'm sure that's not what the developers were thinking.
No, but sometimes it is pretty fucking mental. I mean, I think I told you the other day.
Yeah.
Best experience ever. When you're playing, like, the main game mode is wanted mode. Basically, you get assigned a target that you have to get, and then other people get assigned to target you.
Yeah. And
the whole point of it is to take out your targets before they find you.
Yeah.
So here I was, stalking my target, happily going about my business, getting quite close, when suddenly the alarm indicator goes up with a little red arrow pointing behind me, saying, oh dear, the person chasing me is now running, and I've noticed. Yeah. So I'm thinking, fuck. So I start running, run round a corner, and I see my target. I'm thinking, right, if I'm going out, I'm taking him out first. And I was quite a low level here. You do, later on, you get the opportunity to like stun your pursuer and everything. Yeah. But I wasn't quite there yet, so I thought, right, I'm just going to go for my target. So I leg it towards him. He obviously notices me running towards him and starts running himself. So I've got my
everyone's chasing everybody.
Yeah, my pursuer chasing me, and me chasing. It is literally. And you only have like a certain amount of time to chase them before you lose the target. Now it's not that long, but when you're being chased and chasing, sort of the adrenaline kicks in, so it seems much longer. We were running around for what felt like an age. It was probably only in a matter of like 10 seconds or whatever, but we went everywhere. Eventually went down this dead end. Yeah. The guy I'm chasing, he tries running up the wall, but it's like slightly too high for him to get. So he falls down and falls into a haystack. So I thought, right, got him. So I leap into the haystack, kill him, and then as the slow motion kill cam is going, the guy pursuing me jumps in after me. Which is just mad. So all three of us are in the haystack. I get my target, that's good. But when the guy chasing me jumped into the haystack, he did it just a fraction of a second too late. And because I was hiding, I escaped. So I just walked out of there.
Sweet.
And I'm like, yeah, that's good.
It's there's a bit of a mixed feeling on the multiplayer for this, because I mean, you were lucky enough to get a chance to play play it at the MCM Expo, and I didn't. So when you got your copy of it, I was like, okay, dude, I'd like to have a go on the multiplayer to see what it's like, because it's interesting to me. I love the idea of, you know, taking the Assassin's Creed world and making a multiplayer out of it. I think it works. The idea of it, and especially on paper, works so well. So when you got it, I got to play some myself. So I've got an opinion on this, and played just like 2 rounds, just like half an hour's worth. Yeah. I really like it, but I feel that there are some. Although I feel conflicted on it, because like what the issues I have with it kind of
are what the multiplayer is
are
about.
what the multiplayer is about, and
it is. I can't lie, it is frustrating.
Yeah, I mean
times.
the whole. I think if you look back at the video of NCM Expo, the dude you spoke to actually mentions it, that you can't, even when you're killing somebody, when you've hit that X button or whatever, and you've gone to that like assassination animation thing, right, and you're killing someone, you're still vulnerable.
Yeah.
Somebody can come up and kill you straight away. You don't have that chance to get away. So in some respects, it makes the game works that you kind of have to make sure no one's following you when you kill somebody, so they can't see you. As soon as they see you killing somebody, that's it, you're fucked, basically. And if they're there, they will see you and they will get you. So some may argue that's unbalanced, but then some may argue that's sort of the point of the game.
That is,
so it kind of is a little bit. It's a shame that you don't have a split second to maybe get away, get in front of them a little bit. But it's sort of the point. If you see somebody, your target, killing somebody else, you go, right, that's my target. They've given their they've basically let their presence known. I can now kill them.
Yeah. You do get like a small chance, depending how far away they are.
Of course.
If they see you from a distance and run up to you,
you're fucked. So that's my only real, you know, complaint. But then, like I say,
you do it to other people.
It is, exactly, and it's just it is frustrating when it's done to you. But then you can just as easily do it to somebody else. So it's kind of fair. Yeah. It just seems a bit. Once you get over that, it's fine. Because initially, I think a lot of people find it frustrating and say this is very unbalanced. But really, that's kind of what the game is. Yeah. The whole point is that if you need to be unseen when you kill somebody. So it's interesting. A lot of people feel differently about it, but I think overall people have really enjoyed the multiplayer. And I haven't picked it up yet because I still got Assassin's Creed 2 to play through, but I will get this at some point, and I think I will enjoy the multiplayer side of it. I'll probably enjoy it more than the single player, but you know.
I think the main thing about it is it doesn't feel tacked on. It feels like a very complete
that's it. When
experience.
I was playing it, it did feel very solid. Yeah. Very solid.
I mean, even in like the single player campaign, the multiplayer game is referenced as part of the story and everything. So it sort of
it ties in really well.
So it does.
Cool. Oh, that's rare because you don't. Multiplayers in general do feel really, really tacked on, and you know, if they can kind of blend the lines between the single player and multiplayer, that kind of works. Yeah, and I like it. I like what they've done with it. It's good.
It is good. It is frustrating. I have to say, generally, I do quite well. I mean, obviously, it's getting to the point where people play it a lot more than me, so there are people who are a lot higher level get the advantage with more stuff.
That's cool.
They do kind of take the piss a bit, but
it happens. And it doesn't matter what game you're playing. That can happen. Whatever.
I did sort of take out and stun a few people much higher level than me. I could sense them getting really frustrated by that. By the fact
that's the game. That's the game. But I like it, and I think if you're a big fan of Assassin's Creed and you haven't picked up Brotherhood, and you're not the sort of person who plays online a lot, I think it's worth trying, because you're not a big player. Like you don't play stuff multiplayer online anyway, not most of the time.
But this I enjoy.
For you, you're enjoying it, and it's getting you into that. It's getting you into the multiplayer, so that's good. I think that's a great thing. And
also, awesome. I will say other game modes and everything, slight variation on tactics. Like you get Manhunt, where you get like a team of 4 each, and you're all like the same character. Yeah. Team fighting, trying to hunt another character.
It's basically team deathmatch, but we all are all the same character.
But there are certain sort of tactics and everything. Like the first round, it involves one of your team is hiding, the other one is hunting. Right. So basically, you have to kill them, and they have to try and stun and escape from you. And then it sort of swaps over halfway through. The tactics with that, like if you're hunting, your opponents will hide in a group of characters that look similar, so they're harder to pinpoint. Yeah. And you get certain tactics, like you'll be there, the general consensus is one of you will sort of go in there and try and do that, and then they will stun you to try and get the points. Right. And basically your teammates sort of hang back a bit and see who does the stunning, who does this, and then go in for the kill afterwards.
Cool.
And when you're all sort of coordinated, it works really, really well.
Oh, excellent. Sounds really good.
There's lots of different variations of it and different tactics and everything. No, it feels really good.
Excellent.
Anyway, what have you been playing?
Well, aside from the obvious, I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer.
Now there's a surprise.
Shocking, isn't it? I'm getting quite far in it now. I've probably been on a lot of the other Call of Duty multiplayers, and it's almost I mean, I went on a bit of a rant last week. I kind of want to
just a bit
add to that, but then sort of kind of leave it somewhere. But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's definitely the best Call of Duty multiplayer experience, and I mean, just in general, just unlocking things, and I mean, it's done so well. I think it's just words can't describe. How about that? But Black Ops, amazing. I think I can kind of understand that now why a lot of people buy Call of Duty games for the multiplayer more than the single player. If those people enjoy the multiplayer side of any COD game as much as I'm enjoying this one, then I could get that. But in previous multiplayers, I don't think have stood up. I haven't been quite as original, and they've just kind of been very samey. And this one is more the same, but they've added so much to it, and they've reworked it, and there's so much you can do now. It's brilliant. So I'm having a lot of fun. Generally, I'm doing pretty good. I've played loads of wager matches and come in the top 3. So I've come away with quite a few extra points and stuff. So
that's awesome. I mean, I've seen you play it, and it looks
it
fun.
is so much fun. And it is frustrating too when you do get a lot of people gang up on you, but it just happens to be the way. But you can do the same to them. It's these games, nobody likes to lose. Let's be honest. And what is funny to me is that although people are higher level than you, people could be up like level 40, level 50, whatever. They could be at prestige or whatever. They could have unlocked everything. They could have bought all this cool shit, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if I run up to them with a fucking knife, or if I've got my grenade launcher out or whatever, there's an equal chance of me owning them. So that's what I kind of like about it. Although you get the cool shit, it doesn't mean you are. I mean, a level 1 can just as easily kick a level 50's ass. It's still pretty much fair. It just depends how how tactical you are and stuff. But the one thing I will say that that is very, very clever about the wager matches, I will just end on this. They are separate game types, because the way to make it fair is that you can't take any of your unlocked weapons or any of your cool shit to these wager matches. It's so they've made it so fair, because obviously points are involved here. That you're gambling, you're paying, taking your points, saying I'm putting these points down. Hopefully, I'll get in the top 3 and gain these back, right? And to make it fair, every game type you start with the same weapons, or like with the sharpshooter game type, the guns recycle every 45 seconds. You get a new gun, but everyone gets the same gun or the same weapon, right? So it doesn't matter what it is, everyone gets the same weapon. With one in the chamber, you all just have a pistol. You've all got the same weapon, you've all got the same amount of ammo, everything's exactly the same. And sticks and stones, you get basic kind of like melee and stuff. And obviously gun game, which you've seen me play, which is fucking so much fun. That's, you get the same set of weapons, you get 20 weapons to cycle through, and, depending on how quickly you can kill, depends on how quickly you gain to get to these other weapons. And at the end of the day, if you start off with the shittiest little pistol, and you go up to rocket launchers and grenade launchers and ballistic knives and shit, right? You cycle through all the weapons. But I could just as easily kill a dude who's got a rocket launcher with my shitty little handgun. So the balance is definitely there. So I don't have any arguments with it at all. I think it's brilliant. So the other game I've been playing, because I want to get on with this, because I've been talking about Black Ops too much. I promise I won't. I'll try not to mention it next week if I can. Right? Okay. Even though I'll be playing the shit out of it. Sorry, it's fucking cold. It's horrible. But I received my copy of Splatterhouse this morning. Oh. I've been playing a little bit before I came over. Now, I have mentioned it on the show before. I do believe that when I was younger, like around 9, 10, I played Splatterhouse 2, I think it was, on the Mega Drive or Genesis, depending on where you're from, and absolutely loved it. It's one of those things where it's like a game that's got a bit of gore in it, like 16-bit, but like it's got a bit of gore in it. And it was around the time when they weren't really like ratings for games, so I could just walk in and go, "Yeah, I want to rent this game. Splatterhouse 2, please."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, no problem. You go home and play your fucking over the top, violent, gory game." And it's good times, right? So when they announced that Namco were like going to remake Splatterhouse for this generation, I got quite excited.
Yeah.
I love the idea of them doing this. Now, for a lot of people who haven't experienced the first games, it might seem a little cheesy and it might not seem like I don't know, it might not appeal to a lot of people, but for fans of the original 3 games, they fucking love it, because I got to play some earlier, and there's nothing really special about it. It is more of a nostalgic thing, I think. Like, it does take me back to when I used to play the original games, but it's a lot of fun. It's really over the top, really fucking gory.
I have to say, I watched you play a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And sort of the amount of well, not so much references, but feelings of like the old 80s horror flicks.
Yeah.
The proper OTT, like the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. That
sort of level of violence.
Yeah.
And
it does. It's kind of made for like people like me, my kind of generation almost, and I get it. There's lots of references in it, and there's lots of humour in it as well that I think applies to someone that was like raised in the 80s, and it kind of I like it a lot. And although it is pretty much the same thing over and over again, I've only played the first 2 levels, but like as gory as it is, it's still a lot of fun. I mean, it's not something. I don't think it's going to be a very long game. I don't know, but like I can't see this being like 12 hours of constantly button mashing and working combos and like. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of fun. I think it's one of those little games that will probably do okay. If you're into these kind of like funny, violent, bloody games, then yeah, why not? I mean, it's a really good laugh, and the graphics are not bad. To be honest, not amazing, but not bad. It's pretty average overall, I'd say. But had it not had this OTT kind of violent side to it, then it may not appeal to many people. I don't know. But you can unlock the original Splatterhouse as well by playing through it. So
worth it for that.
So. Awesome. So we've been talking for about 17 minutes.
Jesus.
So we're going to have a quick break now. And when we come back, what are we going to be hearing?
News. Welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're now going to talk about some news, and to kick it off, Dan.
Hey. So yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about actually, I've just added this to the news, by the way. This weekend, there's free Xbox Live Gold subscription. Well, a basic 48-hour trial, basically speaking. What's happened is they've said, we want to get more people on Xbox Live playing games using Gold. If you've got a silver account, it'll automatically be upgraded this weekend to Gold, so you can play online with other people, just for the weekend, which is kind of cool. And tying into it slightly, I think starting today or tonight at some time, through till sometime next week. I wish I had the dates. Gears of War 2 is going to have a 10 times XP.
Okay.
Especially for Thanksgiving, right? So that's cool. So if you've got Gears of War 2 and you've got a silver account, you can play online this weekend. Not only play online, but you can also get your 10 times XP. Right?
Awesome.
Pretty fucking cool. But an email was sent out saying about the free Xbox Live weekend. Along with it was attached, this is from Microsoft, attached a notice saying Call of Duty Black Ops was going to have a double XP weekend. So you can play for free and get double times XP. That is untrue. Okay. We've confirmed that Black Ops is going to have a double XP weekend, but it isn't this weekend coming.
Okay.
So a lot of people received this email and are very excited for the double XP weekend. It's not happening. It's happening soon, but it's not going to happen this weekend, right? So for anyone who's thinking, this weekend I'm going to jump on Black Ops, get my double XP and all that shit, not going to happen.
And tying in with that, end of the week, it's Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the time of the year when basically you want to get anything electrical, get it on Black Friday.
Yeah, it's just discounts.
Discounts.
Oh, wow, it's a US thing. It's not,
Yeah.
you know. But for our US listeners, we're going to mention it. Black Friday. Yeah, a lot of electronics you can just pick up for, like, you know, a lot of major discounted price. Obviously, since we're talking about video games and consoles and stuff, that's pretty much what we're kind of focusing on.
This is like a big day for, like, consoles. This is when
people go mental, basically.
this is when all the parents go and buy the Christmas presents and get the consoles, get the games and everything, and people who maybe haven't had enough money, or there are certain games that they wanted that they couldn't afford at the time.
Yeah.
This is when they
people
go and get
mad, spend a lot of cash, and you know, get some good deals.
So it's good for the gaming industry because games obviously that are selling well now will see like a jump in sales figures, and games that maybe haven't done so well might do slightly better.
Do you know what I think will do well?
What?
Black Ops.
Yeah, probably. That's a given.
Yeah. So what else? What else is news?
What else is news? BioShock, the original one.
I'm familiar with this game.
You liked it. It originally came out. It was
No. Loved it.
You loved it.
There you go.
You adored it.
Indeed. Yeah, I took it to bed with me.
Too much information.
Go on.
But yeah, originally it was Xbox exclusive or Microsoft exclusive.
It was Xbox and PC.
PC.
Yep.
And it did eventually come to the PS3.
Yeah, a year later.
But it was ported by third-party company.
It was ported by 2K Marin, I think, who did BioShock 2, I do believe.
Yeah. But a lot of people still... It wasn't the best of ports.
No.
I don't think.
I
It didn't
imagine.
go down. It wasn't hugely well received.
I played the demo on PS3, but it's pretty much the same. I didn't really notice any major differences, but, you know...
It took quite a while to kind of like get it up to standards and everything. Now, obviously, sort of timed exclusives and console exclusives, they're sort of dying out a little bit now.
Yeah.
So generally, if it's multi-platform, it comes out everything at the same time.
You know, developers like money.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Absolutely. So what Irrational Games has said is they are now working in-house on the PC, Xbox 360 and PS3 versions at the same time.
It's a smart move because... whether you work on one version of it and then port it to everything else, that's still going to take a lot of time. Even once you've made the game is finalised, you've still got to take that time to port it to everything else. If you're developing simultaneously on everything, if you've got teams split up to work on everything, then, you know, in theory, everything will be optimised for that system. You know, everything will be like running smoothly. You won't need to sort of like... There's be bugs and stuff they need to work out, but, you know, it's a more effective way of making a game, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear they're kind of not... And it's good for PS3 owners as well. I mean, I'm sure a lot of PS3 owners really are looking forward to this. And they want to know they're not just going to get a freaking port. You know, they're going to get a fucking version made for their console.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's it. Because, you know, I think it's important that everybody... There's a lot going on the internet about sort of console comparisons and all that. And some of the videos, they're kind of shocking because there isn't a great deal of difference.
No.
If everybody gets the same game... That's good.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's kind of good news for anybody or PS3 owners anticipating BioShock Infinite. You will get the optimum game for your system. Yeah,
I think that's great. I think it's a really good thing, and I think it saves time, actually, personally. But there you go. Yeah. There's a while before it comes out, so I think it's still 2012, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got a bit of time, you know.
Yeah.
To
but
be fair.
Irrational Games, they're not the only ones doing this. I'm a fan of BioWare games, as you know.
Yes.
And Dragon Age, that BioWare initially made that as a PC game, and it was a different company that ported it to the consoles.
Right.
That didn't go down well at all. They've said now with Dragon Age 2, they're doing it all in-house simultaneously as well.
Smart move. I think at the end of the day, you know, you've got to think about the end product and how people are going to perceive that when they buy it. They go out... They drop the money on the game, they bring it home, and they want a really good experience on their console. And if you're not going, if by developing it for one platform and porting it is going to make that experience for the end user suffer, then it's not worth it.
No.
Spend the extra cash, get more people in to develop simultaneously. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm hoping to see a lot more of it, sort of in-house, multiple console development thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stumbling on more. Anyway, other news, might like Activision Blizzard
Yep.
said they have now successfully reconstructed Infinity Ward.
Yes.
Obviously,
Well, yeah.
obviously with the founders sort of being fired and a huge mass walkout, it didn't
look too good for
didn't look
Infinity
too
Ward.
good.
At one point, we even said on the show that it's pretty much not. They don't exist anymore. Infinity Ward's gone. But no, they are back. At the end of the day, Activision, Blizzard, or Active Blizzard, whatever you want to call them, they've got money coming out their arse, so they've got the money to reform Infinity Ward. But I think with the amount of people who've walked out from the studio, it's not going to be the same company. I think that's generally the consensus of from what I gathered. I've read a lot of this story and a lot of people's reactions online, and there's some hardcore Infinity Ward fans, of which I'm one of them, And at the end of the day, it's not going to be the same creative minds. I mean, who knows? It could work. It could be fine, but just throwing money at a problem doesn't necessarily fix it. Doesn't make it the same. So they've got a lot of people in. They've reached Infinity Ward. They're working on Modern Warfare 3. That's been announced. But, and here's a big but. I don't mean he's a big ass. He's a big but, right? That technically should be released next year, next November. I'm sure a certain amount of work has been started on this game. Yeah, and I'm sure that's possibly one of the reasons why one of the main reasons they've constructed Infinity Ward is because they had this game kind of started and it's just sat there. Yeah. And so there's obviously people who didn't walk out, who are going to stick with Infinity Ward, and then they need to get some new people in. That's fine, they've done that, but is it still going to be on track for November 2011? And is it going to be anywhere near as good as it should be?
Well, we shall see. All I know
it's going to be a real problem. But I know the main two dudes or whatever from Infinity Ward started Respawn Studios, and they're going to be coming up with a game fairly soonish. I mean, there's a lot of websites have been covering their story, and they've got their own headquarters now, and they've been buying furniture and stuff and things like that. Kind of a nice little story. They're literally setting up their own studio with their own money. But I think part of EA is now interested in them, or has bought their company, which is kind of funny because Activision and EA, they are pretty much clashing heads constantly with games. So
can we see them maybe working on the next Medal of Honor?
It would be interesting, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah, you never know. So it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people aren't happy. A lot of people say, "Oh, you know what, Treyarch are doing a really good job. Let them do it. We don't need a Call of Duty every year." Some people have been saying, I don't mind it being a Call of Duty every year, but I do find that what I would like for them to do, and I did say I wouldn't say much about this, but with the multiplayer side, you spend a year playing it and you get so far, and then you've got to kind of start again when the new one comes out. And to me, that's why I've never really bothered playing it that much, because to me that's a bit disheartening. I want to be able to carry it on. Now, if they can find a way to take Treyarch's fine handiwork and move that to the next game, so your character, at whatever level it is, you can advance, and they should have an infinity level of amount of ranks you can upgrade, or you just get to a point where you can just say, "Hey, you know what? I'll either stick with this maxed out character or start again." You know, and that's the person's decision. You can reach prestige and start again and things like that. That's fine. But I'm just saying, it would be kind of cool to, now they've got the whole COD points thing as well. It'd be kind of cool to carry all of that stuff over. To the next Call of Duty game. I don't think they'll do it, but I think that would be fucking amazing. And I think it would make people invest a lot more time in the current multiplayer if that was announced. But so next year we should be seeing Modern Warfare 3, but we don't know yet for sure.
We'll be keeping an eye out for it.
I mean, Call of Duty might sit next year out. Who knows?
Oh, I don't see that happening.
I don't see how exactly.
No.
But interesting story. We'll just see how it pans out. We can't. A lot of people have their opinion on it. I've got kind of my opinion on it. I think my opinion is sitting on the fence really about it, to be honest. Because although I know that the main creative minds aren't there at the studio, it doesn't mean that fresh talent hasn't been brought in, and that it's not going to be as good or anything. It might take Call of Duty in a whole new direction. The whole Modern Warfare thing. They might open up.
I know. Future Warfare was kind of battered about a little while ago.
Space and stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't like it. Anyway,
well, I didn't think you'd like it. But...
I don't know. I like it. I like it. I like, you know, I don't. It's not like I don't like space games, but like, it's just going to make it into Halo.
Yeah,
isn't it? Kind of. So no, I don't really like that.
We shall see.
Anyway, next story.
The OnLive game system.
Yes.
Know much about it?
Bits.
Basically, it's been available on PC and Mac now for a while.
Yeah.
It's basically a way of playing games by streaming them straight to you. Rather than having a physical copy or downloading it, you can just stream it.
I don't like it. No, I do. I like the idea of it. I like the ideas behind it. Basically speaking, like you say, it's been available on PC and Mac, but you've got a version now you can attach to your telly. Yeah.
Which went on sale sort of last week.
Yeah.
Sometime. It won't actually be shipped until the 2nd of December.
Yeah.
But you can now sort of buy it and purchase it now.
$99.
$99. And with that you get the little box that you plug into your TV with various Ethernet and HDMI sockets and everything. And you get the game controller.
Yep.
You can control everything with. People who are familiar with PS3 controllers and Xbox controllers can look at it.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If an Xbox controller and a PlayStation 3 controller fucked,
it would look exactly like that. Jesus Christ, yeah.
But that would never happen.
Yeah. What you also get with it is like $50 worth of credit, which is basically like a free game with it.
Yeah.
Now, interesting thing is, we looked at sort of the list of games and stuff, and it's not a huge amount. It's not everything, but there's fair old list on there.
The new Assassin's Creed's coming to it.
Assassin's Creed 2 is already on it.
Assassin's Creed 2 is already on it. Batman, Arkham Asylum, Borderlands. You know, there's some fairly big games for it.
A lot of big games for it.
That's not big. It is what it is.
Yeah. You can play them. You can try them out for free and see if you like
a 3-day pass, or you can just pay for the game.
Yeah. So you have options. You can say. You can try it out, stream it straight to you and say, yeah, I like this, I might play it for a couple of days, get the 3-day pass, complete it, or if you really, really like it, say, right, I'm going to buy the whole thing so I can play it whenever, wherever.
So sounds great.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't like about it. Say, for example, this basically, you wire this to your internet.
Yep.
It streams the game, yeah?
Yep.
So when you get those load times, it's not loading it from a disc, it's loading it via the internet to your box to play, right? Right, so say, for example, I'm hoping it's been worked out, but you could have ridiculously long load times for just like one level of a game.
Yeah.
Okay? That would annoy me.
Yeah.
The next thing that would piss me off is if you've got very inconsistent internet.
Yeah.
If at certain times it's really slow and certain times it's really fast, which happens a lot. You might only be able to play games at certain parts of the day.
Yeah.
That would annoy me. I want to be able to play what I want when I want. That's the idea behind this, but it might not work that smoothly if you've got inconsistent internet, right?
Yeah.
And another thing is, I like to actually physically own something. You know, as much as kind of optical media is on its way out, if you want to say it, with this more on-demand thing, I still prefer being able to store it on something.
Yeah.
To say that's where it is, it's on there. You know, that's where it boots up from, or that's on a disc there. I can take this disc and put it in another Xbox or another PC or PlayStation or whatever. I can take it with me and do something with it. Whereas you can probably take this box around somebody else's house and use their internet. Another thing is, you know, if you're going to play a game, say you play Assassin's Creed 2, say you play it for 4 weeks solid, a whole month, 28 days of playing Assassin's Creed 2. I mean, I'm not saying it does take that long, but I'm just saying if you did, right? That's a whole month's worth of every time you go on there to play it, it has to fucking download it, it's to stream it to your box. It's choking your internet connection.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, if you're playing a game, you know, you might not be able to fucking go online. Somebody else in your house might want to go online, and it slows the fucking internet right down.
Yeah, I've had some experience with this with like Xbox and PlayStation.
Exactly, right. And then you've got like a fair usage policy. Although it's hidden in the contract with a lot of internet service providers, you get a fair usage policy. And if you're a big fucking gamer and you're using this constantly, you might be downloading more than your quota for you know what you're allowed, and therefore you know you're paying for the game. and then you might end up getting your internet either cut off or suspended, or your fucking bandwidth capped.
Yeah.
Because of this. And I mean, maybe they've worked these out so it's not so bad, but I don't know. I just think it's a great idea in theory. I think you need decent internet, and you need to have consistent internet, and you have to have a fucking good internet package to be able to actually...
I think
so basically, you need to be spending a fucking fortune on your internet connection for this to be worth it, in which case you might just buy the fucking disc.
Yeah.
And play it. Yeah, my thoughts. There you go. Obsolete already. There you go.
Well, this has been sort of touted as the future of gaming.
No, don't get me wrong. I think it's a fucking quality idea. I love the idea of being able to go, oh, look, the new fucking Assassin's Creed game's on there. I don't have to go to the store and buy it. I don't have to go online and pre-order it.
I can just play it
Day
now.
one, I can just go, there you go, there's fucking $60 of whatever, my money gone. Or I could just pay for the 3-day thing. And I can be playing it there and then. I don't have to wait for anything to download. It streams. That's great, but I don't think the service is going to be as consistent. And it's not going to be down to the service. It's going to be down to your personal internet connection.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Definitely one for like the tech heads and the...
I just think if they've worked out a way for it to
web heads, Spider-Man.
I think if they've worked out a way for it to work on people that have, obviously you need broadband. That's fine. Most people have these days. But I'm guessing you're going to need a decent kind of speed connection. What if you've just got like a 2 meg, an old-fashioned 2 meg broadband connection? That's all you pay for. You get it nice and cheap. Are you going to be able to use the service? Are you going to have to wait 30 minutes for a level to load? Or is it going to be fairly quick still? Or if you've got... I personally have 20 meg broadband, okay? It's fast enough for when I want it, but is it going to be... Is my experience going to be better because I have that? Or, I'm just saying, it's interesting.
I see it as kind of like a stepping stone to
yeah,
what things
I don't
will
see
be.
this isn't, oh, this is it. This is the future. This is the solution. This is how it's going to be. It is a stepping stone. It's a stopgap. It's kind of the... This is what we want to do, but it's not quite there yet.
Like you said, what I think there should be an option to like store your stuff on like an external hard drive.
That to me is better because then it's there. What if your internet fucking goes down? Oh, I can't play my game because it's online.
Yeah.
If the worst happens is if your internet goes down in your flat, right, you just won't be able to play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but you can play the single player.
Yeah.
It's as good as the electricity going off. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I think work against it, but I like the idea of it. I like being able to say, there's a new game, I'm going to play it now.
Yeah.
Having instant access to something, assuming it's fair. I mean, there'll be a process. You'll have to pay for it. The credit card payment has to go through, and it has to buffer some of it and start streaming. But, essentially you are getting the content, you're getting the game there and then.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's not. It doesn't store it anywhere. So as soon as you turn that box off, you've got to go. You're back to square one. You've got to stream it. I mean, you get a save game. You get a save point saved to that, obviously.
Yeah. Whether that has like a cache or something.
It'll probably have some kind of built-in memory for that, or you'll maybe be able to expand it to an SD card or something. I don't know. I don't know much about it, if I'm honest.
No, like I said, in the future, if you could have like a big storage thing, if you have the option to like play a game, like it, and then store it and have it there.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the future of Xboxes and PlayStations and the big consoles and the Wiis and things like that. Maybe not the next generation of that, but maybe the further generation of that. What you won't be using optical, you have a fuck off massive hard drive, and you'll download all the games.
We're getting fairly
close. We're getting close. I mean, you've got games on demand for both PlayStation and whatever. You can download the games to your hard drive and play them off there. That's cool, and you've got access to them. You can delete them and then download them again if you want. You don't have to pay for it again. That's great.
Yeah.
You've paid for access to that thing. Brilliant. That's working. That works for me.
Yeah.
But that I think
if you're able to like sort of those games, like I said, we have got games on demand and all that, but none of them are the current games. There are some not that old games.
A year or so to get the games, which is fine.
I can see it getting to the point where all the current games will be on it, and you will be able to like have a go before you buy kind of.
That would be great.
Obliterating demos
altogether. A brand new game comes out, you can play the first level of it day one and go, I'm going to fucking buy that. I mean...
And I think maybe with the next generation of consoles, that might be the case already.
Maybe not the next one, but the one after that for sure. I mean, everything's trying to phase out trying to phase out optical media,
Yeah.
And I think in a way it's a good thing. I mean, from the developer and from the publisher's point of view, they don't have to physically make discs. They don't have to have them printed. They have to do the covers and fucking worry about the cases. They don't have to ship them out to fucking stores. Everyone's got to make a markup on it. They can say, right, this game's there. You fucking download it for that price.
Yeah.
They can make the games. They can save money.
Yeah.
By just digitally distributing everything. So it's a good idea. I mean, like you say, you've got things like on the PC, you've got Steam, and that kind of that works. People are happy with that. I mean, it's you've got certain DRMs and stuff involved, but it's going to be the same in whatever. But I can see that being the future of consoles. I can't see this being the future of consoles. But
this is like the stepping stone.
If you literally had a hard drive attached to this, where you store everything on it, that would be it for me. I'd probably be like, yeah, maybe I'll fucking invest in that.
Yeah.
And if the downloads are cheap enough, then yeah, sure. If it's cheaper, if it was like £10 cheaper to fucking download it onto this and play it, then yeah, definitely. I think it would be worth most people's money. The fucking thing's only $100 anyway, so
yeah,
that's enough about that. What you got?
We're talking about sort of Steam and close association with Valve.
Yes.
All right. Portal 2.
Yeah.
Delayed until April.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Well, we knew it wasn't coming out this year.
No, but I kind of expected this. I mean, Valve have a history of delaying games for development. I mean, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 2 Episode 3, new one. Yeah. Where's that at? So I could sort of see this happening, but in the end, when it does finally come out, it's going to be
Left 4 Dead 3.
What?
Maybe they're too busy making Left 4 Dead 3.
just don't. Basically, when this game comes out, it's going to be good. Sure. Take as much time as you need, Valve. Just make it good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's great. I mean, it is one of those things we mentioned on the show. Games get delayed a lot. It's rare that they get brought forward and stuff, but it's all for the better of the end user. It's all for the benefit of the game, the reputation of the company, and people who go out and buy it. They don't want to buy some shit you think needs to be patched 8 times before it's worth playing.
Absolutely. So
I mean, take the time. Obviously people who want the game now, I can't wait till April or whatever. Fuck them.
There are lots of other games out there. You can play to take up the time. I mean, I've got too many games to play as it is.
I've got to start on my games from last year.
Yeah.
I've got Assassin's Creed 2 to play.
Yeah.
And I will try and get around to that. But I'm busy. So yeah, that's the news.
That is the news.
Awesome. This show's really fucking long.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about what's coming out and then wrap it up.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. We're going to talk about this week's releases.
Very quickly,
yes. So, Disney Epic Mickey comes out for the Wii this week. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you hate the title.
I think it's a stupid fucking title.
It's just your face as you say it. It's like it physically hurts you to say it.
Can't they just call it fucking... no, let's not get into this. We're pressed for time. Stupid fucking title. Probably quite a good game. We haven't played it. We had the chance at MCM, but we didn't play it.
No.
I think it was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We never got the chance to play it.
I'll give it a go. I forgot time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say you're going to pick this up and talk about it, or...
Well, I'll try
you'll
to.
See if you're about... Yeah, cool. All right, well, that's out this week. I'm sure it'll do pretty well. It's one of the big Wii titles. It's probably one of the last of the big Wii titles to come out this year. At least it's the second of the Wii titles with the Epic in the title.
Yeah.
And we've got, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
The actual disc.
The actual retail disc.
Yeah.
Is coming out this week. So if you didn't download it or whatever, I may decide to pick this up. I probably won't pick it up, but it's cheap. It's cheap. It's like $17.99 or whatever. But like, I'll probably wait till it's cheaper, like under a tenner or something, and then get it.
I think we'll just reiterate, this also gives you the multiplayer with all the DLC bonuses separate from the single player. So you have the whole...
I've got the game. I could choose to download all these extra bits or just buy this other disc, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just going to buy the extra disc, to be honest, because I have a lot of space in my hard
Because
drive.
by the time you pick up the game and DLCs and all that, it'll probably work out to about the same price anyway.
Yeah, there's not a lot in it. So I'd probably rather have it on the disc, to be fair.
Yeah.
But so that's out this week. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they're giving you options.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
I already downloaded it, so
Yeah.
I won't be picking it up. But
have
I
you
will...
played much of it? I haven't really asked to speak to you because we spoke about it on the Halloween special.
Yeah, I played a fair bit of it.
Have you?
Yeah, but not recently. There's other things been. I will have to pick it up again.
Yeah, because I'm interested. I haven't seen. I from the first episode we said about Red Dead Redemption. Like I will pick this up and play it, but I just haven't managed to do it yet.
Yeah.
So it's an event, but I like the idea of Undead Nightmare. I think that's something that can ease me into Red Dead Redemption. So
Yeah.
I think I could probably play that first and then kind of work my way into Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So that's
I will say,
the idea.
a lot of the characters from Undead Nightmare you won't understand unless you've played Red Dead Redemption.
Possibly, but
So
it'll click afterwards. So
yeah,
that's fair enough.
so you do it how
My
you want
choice,
to.
my choice.
Yeah.
And we already mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but Splatterhouse comes out this week.
Hey.
And yeah, I like it. It's good. I mean, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's a bit samey. It's a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to sell that well. I'm not sure. What I kind of get who the demographic for that game is.
It's for our generation.
It is for our generation kind of thing. But like, I don't know if it will appeal to too many more people. Like, I don't know. I can see it doing okay, fairly modest number of sales, but I don't know, like, for sure. I can't be. I mean, like, there's certain games you can say, yeah, Disney Epic Mickey, that's going to sell loads.
Yeah.
That's going to sell a shit ton. With this, I'm not so sure. It's a little bit more niche.
It might become one of those cult classics.
Quite possibly. I hope it does. There's definitely an audience for it, but I don't know if it's a massive audience. And so, yeah, I think making this game was somewhat of a risk. But I like they took the risk. Because I'm a fan of the original, so and parts of it play like the original as well. So that's cool. I'm happy.
Awesome.
I'll be playing more of that later, actually. So I'll probably talk a bit more about it next week.
Okay.
All right. But that's it. That's the show. It's been a long one. We apologise for overrunning and taking up extra time, but
even longer recording it.
What are you going to do here, right? What are you going to do? So please check out our website www.games4allpodcast.com. That's the number 4. We're on Facebook. If you want to go on Facebook, type in Games for All space podcast. Not the word space, a space. not the word for a number 4. No, Games for All podcast. You can find us on there, like us on there, or if you go straight to the website, which I mentioned before, www.games4allpodcast.com. There's a like button. Click on that, sign in, or if you're already signed in, just click on it. It will take you to our page. And you'll get some updates and stuff. We like to kind of update our Facebook page occasionally with little messages and stuff. And we will be putting some videos on there soonish, I'm sure. And
there's also a link to Twitter.
Indeed.
Which you can also find us on twitter.com/games4all.
Yeah, please
like we
follow
said,
us on there.
That's the number 4, not the word 4.
Indeed. So, yeah, follow us on
All one
Twitter. We occasionally make tweets about what we're doing and what's going on and stuff. So it's just nice to know. If you're a fan of the show, please follow us on there. It'd be great. And, email address. If you want to talk to us, not talk to us, but if you want to send us a message, if there's anything you want us to talk about, or if you just want to mention on the show, the email address is podcast@games4allpodcast.com.
That's it, I think.
More or less. Please leave us feedback if you can.
Yeah.
iTunes, go on iTunes, type in Games for All. Please leave us some feedback, write us a review, rate us, whatever you want to. It'd be great to get some kind of feedback. We've been doing this for 26, 27 episodes.
Yeah.
And a nice little handful of video podcasts. So, we're providing content. We're trying our best. It takes up a lot of our time, and
so bloody well appreciate it.
and I'm sure people do. No, we're happy with how many people download and listen to us.
Yeah.
It's great. It's very flattering, but it'd be nice to kind of hear a little bit more feedback. If there's something you don't like about our show, it'd be nice to know. If there's, generally if people think, you could,
If I get a lot of hate mail, I'm blaming you.
But yeah, please email us and please write us some reviews and stuff. It'd be great. Thank you very much for listening. I apologise again for the show running, and thank you very much for your time. And we will be back next week.
So long.
Hey. Oh.
Okay, you need to take this from the recording and put just you snorting right at the end of the show. 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 Right at the end of the show.